Hello and welcome to yet another video from Bloomberg Capital. This is Patrick and today we're going to be discussing Palantir and where it might go next. Stay tuned, we're going to continue right after the intro. Hello and welcome to yet another video from Bloomberg Capital. This video is currently a technical review. This is sometimes what we do on this channel just to look at a couple of stocks that are currently trending. And so far we have a very aggressive pre-market action in Palantir. And yesterday I did notice very bad news come out and lots of drama was happening. So I thought I'd give it a shot and tell you on a technical basis on where the stock might go. Now there is lots of bearish news currently. Therefore we have to assume that the market is simply going to ignore that news and everyone will most likely be wrong about a potential decline commencing. Currently, it appears like that Palantir is going to become a little bit more aggressive, which could be a bigger push to the upside, which would be followed by a bigger correction. So I wouldn't say that it's very likely that it tops around here and then comes down. I mean, everything is possible in the market at all times. We cannot act deterministically. But so far, since the sentiment is very bad, I expect this move to continue a little bit higher and then to correct. So the low you might see here might even be the low of that correction before the stock ultimately does form its top. So then we want to answer the question, well, how high can it go? Okay, this is something that I like doing, especially when the stock doesn't have a lot of history, as in Palantir. The first target for me, where it was at the lows here, was this high. And you can also see there is also another spike here. And you can see the price usually interacts with those price spikes. Exactly here, this was the top right around here. And then Palantir didn't really not do anything for a couple of months. Then we could attack this high. And you can see it just melted through it, which would indicate that we are at a midway point of something. This is usually when you see those big bars with very bullish news. This is usually indicating that there is a middle in the trend. So then this means that we are coming to a potential end. But that doesn't mean that it will go to zero or something. It just means it's going to consolidate, it's going to come down, and then it's going to go back again at some point as well. It's in the S&P 500 so far, so there's no knowing or no need to try to be smart to actually anticipate a price top. But let's extrapolate that. So you see, I assume that this is a midpoint from this low. Why this low and not this low? Because this is an overshoot. Most of the price action was around here. You can see most of the volume was traded here as well. That's why we take this low. And then we can project a potential range high where we see a full doubling of that entire price range to the upside. And that usually coincides with intermediate term tops. This is when funds do sell out. And in this entire phase, currently we're seeing even less and less big institutions buying in. So this means they are inactive, and this would indicate that only the small buyers are currently buying, which doesn't mean it has to top. This just means institutions are inactive and the stock can still push upwards before it ultimately forms an intermediate term peak. Now, I would say because we are already past the midpoint, and usually the second leg that commences from a midpoint is it the weaker one, I wouldn't say that the entire price range of the initial upside move, which would be that one, would be repeated again. So if we take this middle point and we extrapolate like a Fibonacci extension, the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extends at 314. So if we assume that a second leg, so after the midpoint, is less bullish than the first leg, we probably get a very good confluence level where we can get an educated guess. At the end, no one knows where this intermediate term top could come in. This would be around, I would say, around 209 and 275, which is a big range still, but that's the best I can give you at the moment. And after that, you might want to know where this stock potentially is going to go. First target would be here, but I would say it's an intermediate term peak. So we can come down here again. So around this, like 75% of this rally could get retraced, but that would still be bullish, because long term this would mean that the stock is just loading up to go even higher afterwards. This concludes the technical review of Palantir. If you liked this video, please give it a like and share. We do these kind of things on a daily basis for over 180 stocks, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and 20 other altcoins, precious metals, and so on. If you want to gain access to these, you can click on the link down below and it will lead you to our private Discord, which is currently free. There's a free chat and you can interact with our community, talk with us, and ask questions. And if you like our premium group, there you will find all the premium analysis of single stocks like Palantir and other stocks from the S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100. And I'm happy to see you there. So until next time, this is Patrick with Bloomberg Capital. I'll see you off for this week.